Welcome. Today, we're diving deep into a question that really defines our entire lives. What does it actually mean to be a good person? And to get to the bottom of it, we're going to explore the incredible teachings of the 18th century scholar Imam Shah Waliullah to really uncover the fundamentals of human morality.
So, to kick things off, let's start with a really big question. If you strip away all the external noise, all the distractions of the world, what is the single greatest battle that every single one of us has to face?
And the answer is, it's the one that's fought right inside ourselves. It's that constant struggle with what's called the nefs, our inner self, our ego, our base desires. This internal battlefield, this is where our character is truly made or broken.
All right, so to really understand this, here's our game plan. We'll start with humanity's core challenge, then we'll break down the 4 pillars of morality. After that, we'll look at the biggest enemy of our character, arrogance, and then we'll map out the path to character building. And finally, we'll see how all of this connects to the bigger picture, morality and society.
Okay, first up, this core challenge. This internal battle isn't just some philosophical idea. It's something we all feel every single day. So what does it really look like? And why are the stakes just so incredibly high?
This verse from the Quran just puts it so perfectly. It basically frames our whole life's purpose as a project of inner purification. Real success isn't about how much money you have or your status. It's about the state of your soul.
So here's the bottom line. Your ultimate success or failure in this life, it all comes down to your ability to win this internal fight. It's about making a conscious choice, day in and day out, to clean up our character and steer that nafs away from corruption and towards real goodness and integrity.
So if that's the battle, how do we actually fight it? Well, the teachings of Shah Waliullah give us an amazing framework. It's built on 4 foundational virtues, think of them as pillars, that are absolutely essential for a strong moral character. Let's check them out. The very first pillar is taharat, or purity. And what's so interesting here is that this isn't just about being physically clean. It's about spiritual purity, having a clean heart, one that's free from things like jealousy and hate. It's seen as the absolute foundation for everything that follows.
Building right on top of that purity is hikmet, or wisdom. You can think of this like your internal moral compass. It's that ability to see a situation clearly, to know the right thing to do, and to make good choices. It's literally the light that shows you where to go.
But, wisdom is pretty useless without shuja'at, or courage. And again, we're not just talking about being physically brave. We're talking about the inner strength to control those lower desires, things like greed, anger, and lust, and to stand up for what you know is right, especially when it's tough. It's the engine that puts your wisdom into motion.
And the final pillar, the one that holds it all together, is Antidote, or justice. This is the great harmonizer. Justice is all about giving everything its proper place and its proper due, whether that's other people, your responsibilities, or even your own feelings. It makes sure your wisdom and your courage are always balanced and fair.
Okay, so now that we know the pillars we need to be building, we have to talk about the one force that's constantly trying to knock them down. And that single greatest enemy of a good character, it's arrogance. And this chart just shows the contrast perfectly. On one side, you've got pride, takabbur. It's this disease of feeling superior, looking down on people, and just rejecting the truth. It leads to total moral blindness. But on the other side, you have its cure, humility, or inkisari. That's about acknowledging your own flaws, being open to the truth, and focusing on your own growth.
And the seriousness of this flaw is really driven home by this powerful verse from the Quran. It's a very clear and stark reminder that arrogance doesn't just push other people away, it creates a huge distance from the divine.
Okay, so we know the goal, we've identified the main obstacle, but what's the actual, practical, day-to-day method for building up these virtues and crushing that arrogance?
Well, the path is really a 3-part journey. It all starts with following a divine law, or a sharia, which gives us a clear rulebook for what's right and wrong. Then from there, you practice taqwa, which is this constant, conscious awareness of God that helps guide your choices in the moment. And finally, you work on cultivating ihsan, which is all about striving for excellence in real goodness in everything you do, especially in how you treat other people.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important point. Why does this personal, internal journey matter so much? Because here's the thing, it doesn't just stay inside you, it radiates out and literally shapes the world around you.
And the connection is just crystal clear. The character of individuals is the absolute bedrock of a healthy society. It's that simple. You just can't build a just and peaceful community on a foundation of people with weak moral character.
This really says it all. Think of it like this. Each person's character is a single thread. When enough people are weaving threads of justice, courage, and wisdom, the entire social fabric becomes strong, resilient, and beautiful. That's how trust grows, that's how cooperation happens, and that's how a community achieves peace. Our personal ethics are, in the end, public virtues.
And so, we're going to end with a question for you to think about. Out of these 4 pillars, purity, wisdom, courage, and justice, which one is calling out to you right now? Which one are you going to choose to focus on starting today? What's your next step going to be?